let you get to me. I'll let you get to me, get to me. I'll let you get to me. I'll let you get to me, get to me. I'll let you get to me. I'll let you get to me, get to me. I'll let you get to me. I'll let you get to me, get to me.
Hi!
How you doing, folks?
Sorry, I'm in a really giddy mood. We are actually in a very messy Steph Noble kitchen. And we just both said to each other, should we maybe move, or are we okay with being in a really dirty kitchen? And Andrew's response was,
Fuck it. So, we thought we'd do another video for you. To here, no airs and graces about us at all. What we're going to talk about is dietary supplements, aren't we?
Yeah, supplements. Short and sweet video about supplements. And what we use, why we use them.
Yeah, of course. So, let's batter on then. So, full disclosure, I'm an extreme nutrition athlete. So, I've been using extreme nutrition supplements now since 2006.
And you will...
Sponsored by them ever since.
Yeah, you've been sponsored by
since that time. So I have used other brands along the way in terms of my bodybuilding career, but that's been a brand that I've always used. So they've definitely been an integral part of my nutritional programming. Whether I could have got other results from different supplements, possibly, but Extreme are the ones that I use. What about you, Steph?
Yep, I'm a Bodytronics sponsored athlete. So you'll probably see in the top corner here some of my products. Actually, what have I got over there? So Bodytronics have been amazing. They have sponsored me now since the beginning of my competitive career in 2012. One of the actual reps approached me when I was training hard in the gym, and they were, they came up and said, you know, it's really great to see a female training really hard, and was I competitive? And then that kind of partnership kicked off from then, and I've been loyal to Bodytronics ever since.
Cool stuff. Yeah.
So these guys up here, we'll delve into some of their products in a moment.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and just let's make things clear. I've got a proper sponsorship. You've got a proper sponsorship. This isn't some sort of brand ambassador thing where I get 20% off supplements.
You don't. Yeah. It's no discount code. I mean, they do give you those to use, but this is a contracted sponsorship where they give you an X amount per month to be able to purchase as many supplements as you want. So 250 quid's worth of supplements, I think, is my monthly allowance.
Something like that as well.
So I mean, really good.
It's a funny thing because being sponsored back in the day was a big deal, I remember. And now I think those sort of sponsorships, certainly the type I've got and you've got, are extremely rare. Yeah,
very rare.
Very rare.
Majority of people that I know who are getting signed up to different brands now it is a discount code.
Yeah, sure.
Partnership where they do a lot more social media to be able to get that kickback as well with supplements.
Do you know what? It's nice though that there's a company out there that has faith in me and they want me to represent their brand and put me on their tubs and use me in their advertising and stuff like that because they believe in me as an athlete. And as I say, they've definitely helped me along the way Extreme Nutrition get to where I've got to, and I'm sure Bodytronics will be the same for you.
Very helpful for all competitions. So
there you go. Yeah. So that's that stuff out of the way now. Now, I work as a nutritional scientist now at Robert Gordon University, and I specialise in sports nutrition. And I don't mind saying right off the bat that actually the majority of dietary supplements don't work. So I do not mind saying that at all. So the dietary supplements that I'm going to talk about are the ones that have got good research evidence behind them, that do work. And even though I'm saying there's a lot that don't work, doesn't mean I've not tried them all in the past. So what sort of things have you tried, Steph? I know I've done absolutely every dietary supplement you could possibly do to try and get that extra 0.5% out of my physique.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as you go along in your journey, you try all sorts of things, don't you? And different brands, and then you find out that certain brands actually don't have what they say they should have in them.
Yeah. Sure.
So everything from your protein powders, isolates, wheys, right through to your different supplements like your creatines. What else? I'm trying to think. Intracell, so branched chain amino acids, glutamins, inulin. Oh, what else have I tried? God, pre-workouts.
Yeah.
The list is kind of endless, really. Lots of powders and potions.
I mean, your average bodybuilder, I know from the research that I do, takes around about between 7 to 9 dietary supplements in preparation for a competition. So the sort of things that your bodybuilder is going to be using. So multivitamin, pretty common.
Fish oils.
Nearly everyone's using that. Fish oils in one form or another, where it's cod liver oil, omega-3, or some sort of flax variant in there, so people are using them. Then we're talking specific
Like
individual minerals. So vitamin C is very popular,
D.
as is vitamin D. And these are all just the sort of what I would describe as health supplements that people will utilise. And then you've got one, you mentioned one, inulin, which is a prebiotic.
Yeah.
Potentially does something for you. People like to take a probiotic.
Like an acidophilus or something. I remember going through a phase where I was all into my probiotics using acidophilus.
Yeah, and of course the thing about an acidophilus as well, I mean, lactobacilli, we're talking like these Yakult drinks as well. This makes up less than 0.01% of your gut microbiota. Did you know that?
I didn't know it was that small.
Yeah, it's very small, and actually EFSA, which is European Food Safety Authorities, has actually got a ruling that says that you can't call a product a probiotic unless you can prove it works. So you can't call it a health claim. There are no such things as probiotics out there because of that.
There you go. So my years of using acidophilus were wasted.
I specialise in the gut microbiota as my PhD though. So we've got those broad health ones, and then you've got maybe your performance ones. Now, protein powder, everybody seems to use protein powder of one variety or another. Some people use more than one different type of protein powder. So you're saying whey is usually first thing in the morning that people will consume, get the protein in there right away. It's probably a good idea. You could just have eggs, but I mean, I go for convenience. Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah,
I'm lazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
After a workout, you see the wheys coming in as well. Although other people sometimes like to use isolates because the absorption of an isolate or a hydrosylate is slightly quicker than a whey. In the grand scheme of things, it probably doesn't make that much difference in terms of half a minute in terms of absorption compared to those amino acids going into the bloodstream or not. And then at night, we're talking caseins.
Casein.
So people use caseins to prolong the digestion and that protein synthesis over time. So everyone's using NAME. After that, popular supplements, creatine.
Creatine, yeah.
Monohydrate, or the various different varieties you get, ethyl esters, alkalines. Certainly, I always use a creatine alkaline. Yeah. That's a great product. I've always used that. Definitely makes a difference in terms of strength and performance. And then we're talking other things as well. So, fat burners, caffeine, and green tea variants. Usually a few different ingredients in there as well. And then what else we've got? We've got pre-workouts, and then you've got your intra-workouts. Yeah. Caffeine, very popular. And then we're talking individual amino acids.
Maybe we should just dwell on the kind of fat burner side actually for a moment.
Sure, well, tell us about that.
I think obviously a lot of people think, ooh, fat burner, ooh, take that before, fasted, before the cardio, and that will work. It doesn't work. In my opinion. I mean, I obviously have tried a few fat burners in the past, but being a natural, I've veered away predominantly from that sort of things because I just think that why take something.
I mean, good point. I mean, in terms of high risk supplements, if you wanted to take something that was real on the edge and is probably more likely to cause you to fail a drug test than other ones, then you've got three categories. You've got the fat burners, which are more likely to contain unkosher ingredients, things like estrogen or amphetamine, so DMA, I believe is the one that you get in something like Jacked 3D, for example, had that in it.
Well, I mean, a lot of them have loads of substances in there.
DHEA, for example, another one. Pre-workouts, again, some of them have just got pure amphetamine in them. Again, get a drug test, you'll feel that. I can't sleep at night, so I can't, if I take these things just purely based on the caffeine content, so I stay well away from them. And then the other category is these testosterone boosting ones. I mean, some of these are just pro-hormones, and a pro-hormone is just basically an unlicensed anabolic steroid, so it's an oral anabolic steroid. So, important point on them. So if you want to stay natural, you probably stay away from
and I think this is a kind of preconcept. I mean, a lot of what these fat burners and I suppose pre-workouts do is raise and elevate the heart rate considerably. Give you that kind of sensation, that pump sensation, that tingling sensation, which can be quite uncomfortable actually in a lot of these pre-workouts. And there's not much, correct me if I'm wrong, research to say that they're actually helping in any way performance through a workout itself. I mean,
caffeine is probably one of the most predominant ingredients that we find in these things. And the one thing that caffeine does is that caffeine makes effort from exercise seem less arduous. So if you take an RPE scale of 1 to 10, doing a set of exercise, whatever it may be, maybe it's a 9, and you take your caffeine supplement or your pre-workout that's got the caffeine in it, and perhaps it takes it down to, say, a 7, for example. So it feels less arduous, and that helps you perform. But caffeine's the thing that's doing that, and there are studies where they've got multi-ingredient products and they take the caffeine out of those multi-ingredient products, and they're not as effective.
Yeah,
and then you try the caffeine by itself. Some published in the GISSN. I mean, in terms of dietary supplements, I've been involved in, I would say, I think like 7 trials on dietary supplements, and we've never found an effect of any dietary supplement in any trial we've ever done to try and improve performance. So you think if somebody's fit, if the effect is such that you get a performance-enhancing effect, then it has to be able to be greater than the day-to-day variation in performance you just get from lack of sleep, lack of food, just having good days and bad days. And for them to be effective in that sort of range, then you need to see an effect of over 3% from a supplement. Okay. And a lot of these supplements, if they are effective, you're getting less than that from some of these things. Otherwise, we'd see an effect in our studies that we're doing.
Okay.
So
caffeine.
Caffeine, yeah, that's one.
And
definitely works.
I think, just speaking from my experience, I know that I used a blend of caffeine and green tea actually through some of my preps to help me, but not throughout the whole prep. This is really more a duration towards the end actually. Just when you're more depleted and you're a lot leaner and you just want that extra little bit of a kick, and that for me helped. However, whether the green tea has any real effect, who knows? But caffeine certainly, obviously based on that argument, is probably the one.
Yeah, I would go for that.
Just stick with caffeine, stick with coffee.
So
get rid of all the extra rubbish that will, do your body more harm than good, in my opinion.
Now, caffeine itself, you get an ergogenic effect from around about 3 mg per kilogram of body weight. So for someone like yourself, about 60 kilograms, if we just do the mental math roughly here, that's 180 mgs you get that from a strong coffee. Yeah. From that. In terms of an actual ergolytic effect though, once you move beyond 7, 8 mgs and you really hammer the caffeine home, it starts to become ergolytic. It starts to decrease your performance. So and there are side effects, lack of sleep, jitters. Yeah. I like to call things like Red Bull anxiety in a can. Yeah.
I'm not a massive energy drinker myself.
No, well, maybe on occasion myself when I'm going for a long drive. So anyway, I think we've done caffeine. Usually it definitely works, okay? So that's something that's going to help you.
Yeah. Nespresso machine is my best mate.
Yep.
And has been throughout the last couple of preps. So stay true, natural folk. Just stick to coffee and it'll do exactly what you need it to get. Let's just take you, Andrew, for a sec, right? So what would your daily protocol of supplements be?
Okay, so I would take a whey protein in the morning purely because I'm lazy, right? I don't need that whey protein in my diet. It's just convenience, because that's what supplements do. They offer you a convenient solution. A lot of the time I could get the same protein from eggs in my diet, because I call it broats, so as in broats rather than proats, because I'm a bro. But I have protein and I have oats in the morning. After that, I'll have creatine alkaline, so pre-alkaline. I take about 3 grams a day.
They're like the purple ones.
Yeah, they're the purple tabs. Extreme Nutrition does something called Crevolution. Yeah. Other brands are available. I take fish oil. Yeah. I also have a multivitamin because I sort of think, well, in the off season, I don't usually use it because I eat a lot of fruit and veg. I get more than my 5 a day. But do you know what? They're so inexpensive that it only costs me a couple of pounds for a pack of about 180. So it's probably cost me less than less than a couple of pence a day just to take it as an insurance policy. Yeah. So just making sure I get my vitamins and minerals that I need. The other thing is when I take the vitamins and minerals, I don't take a high dosage one. I just take ones that have got the right amount, so the RNI amounts, because I don't need huge amounts. Because high amounts of multivitamins can be toxic. We don't need them in your diet. So that's the supplement protocol in the morning. Beta-alanine is another thing that I've used in the past. Beta-alanine. Really powerful supplement. Helps buffer lactic acid. The thing about beta-alanine is, and it's in a lot of your dietary supplements that you take in your pre-workouts, you need to load on it. And you need to load on it in the same way you need to load on creatine.
So it's like a 5 gram.
Yeah. You can get
however much.
You can get about 12 gram a day for someone my size for a month, and then you'll see a difference in terms of buffering lactate in the same way that you'll get an improvement from creatine. So that's another one I would take. And then I drink coffee like yourself. Yeah. After a train, I like to have a whey shake. just to get the protein in there quite quickly and kickstart that protein synthetic pathway. I also like to have some glucose, again, just to get the carbs in there right away. And then I go home and I have a meal. Now, you don't need to do it like that. You can get the same nutrients again from food, but I'm of the sort of opinion, well, why wait? Get it in you, start the recovery process as quick as you can. Probably doesn't matter as much in the off-season. Definitely doesn't matter as much in the off-season. But when I'm training for competition and I'm trying to preserve as much muscle tissue on my body as I possibly can, and you're literally starving yourself to death in a controlled fashion, then getting those nutrients into me quickly is what I want to do. And then the other thing I might do at night is maybe have a casein shake just to keep that protein synthetic pathway going on for the night. So that's my supplement stack.
I think that's pretty, I mean, we've done some work obviously looking at the prep ahead, and my protocol pretty much like sits very closely to yours, really.
I would say one thing actually I forgot. One thing that's going to improve your performance during a training session is how hydrated you are.
Oh yeah, we were talking about hydration.
So
okay.
If we lose 2% of our body weight in terms of fluid, then that counts for a significant drop in performance. So long as we're making sure that we're well hydrated and that we're taking on board electrolytes so that we're not diluting our body in terms of the water in our body, and that we've got a little bit of carbohydrate in there, not a lot. So a hypertonic drink that is carbohydrate content, which is less than 4 gram per 100 ml, then you'll actually hydrate yourself better
than water itself. Yeah,
you've got to account for those calories though. So that's my supplement stack. There's nothing really fancy in there. I don't think a lot of it's. I
think like the key point like we're trying to hit on as well, and my supplement stack pretty much follows exactly the same. In actual fact, before I sort of assessed like what I wanted to do this year, a couple of additional supplements that I had in there was glutamine for sort of additional recovery. However, learning a little bit more about that, there's not that much to say that it actually works at all.
Yep. True.
So why take
your diet's not going to be deficient in glutamine, is it? No. If you're eating 5 times a day, you're eating protein with every single meal.
Yeah, you're not going to be deficient in glutamine.
160 to 170 grams of protein. Then you'll be able to get enough glutamine in your diet for that route anyway. I mean, the research behind glutamine is based around intensive care wards where people had acute injuries and they thought that glutamine at the time perhaps improved recovery. Since that research has kind of sort of been defunct a bit, so if it doesn't help people who are in intensive care recover, then it's not going to help someone who does a minor acute damage to their muscle fibre, in my opinion. There are other reasons.
No, but I mean, there you go, and that's exactly why reassessing and speaking to people or just gaining more knowledge around the supplements that you're putting in your body is really important, because we all know that supplements are expensive.
Yeah.
You don't want to be spending a ridiculous amount of money on things that really, in the grand scheme of things, are not going to help you at all. So reassessing and looking at the staples, your multivitamins, your fish oils, your protein powders, etc., those things that are going to help benefit you through your dieting phases or just competition prep and off-season in general is really important. So we thought it was a good idea to do like a supplement video, really, because we can get into almost like habit of taking things and forgetting actually what they do. So it's good to just like take a rain check on that.
I mean, I would just say, based on what you were just mentioning there, that, I mean, I could get all those things from my diet, with the exception of the caffeine, the creatine, and the beta-alanine. Those are 3 things that I couldn't acquire from a sufficiently high-quality diet.
Exactly.
So
basic. Keep it basic. Keep it to the tools we actually have and helping them along those.
Yeah, and these are not going to... I mean... These things are just a supplement to your diet. They shouldn't form the cornerstone of your actual diet. You shouldn't be relying on
diet first, training first, supplements come last
for sure,
as a buffer.
Yeah,
as a little bit of an aid. If you've got any questions about supplements, just drop them in the comment section below, because we will answer any of those. And my key staples from my Bodytronics guys up here, I use an isolate whey, I use a whey, I use a casein, I use a branch chain drink, actually it's their intracell drink, more so for flavour, and I put that in my water during my workouts. Okay, cool. So supplements, basic. know why you're putting them in your diet.
Yeah.
Make sure that they're not adding any additional calories, like hidden calories that you don't really know about that, you know, are going to play a factor in your diet. And don't take unnecessary things that you just don't need to take. Yeah,
sure. High risk supplements, research them.
Research. Natural competitors. Look at what is on labels. Don't just presume that everything is going to be okay for you to take, because majority of the time they're not. Like, they have so many, you know, so many different ingredients in there that are on the WADA ban's substance list. But also just generally, you know, you don't want to be trying to spend time working things out. If you're having to do that, the likelihood is just don't take it in the first place. That's what I would say.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's certainly WADA's stance, that you're responsible for whatever you put in your body, and that ignorance is not a suitable excuse for taking something that might be banned. And then certainly I'm working closely with the drug control officer at BMBF. There have been numerous instances in years where people have just been taking things, given things by coaches, so-called natural coaches as well.
Oh yeah, well, I've heard so many stories about things like this.
Yeah, they've ended up not being able to compete because they're taking something without going on and researching it. So look your things up, and if you're not sure, then just don't take the risk.
Just don't take the risk. And remember, guys, like, if you are a natural athlete, why are you a natural athlete? This is why I always ask this question. So totally different. We'll do another story on it, like probably another video on this. But what does being a natural athlete mean to you? Because if you're searching for the next thing to help you drop fat or build muscle or whatever it is, you might not have like your reasons in place. I don't know what I'm trying to say there. You probably know what I'm trying to say there, but you've just got to be thinking about what being natural is all about, and put your plan together based on that. Okay, so any questions, we're happy to take them. Comment down below. Yeah. If there's any specific supplement you want us to talk about, then certainly we can talk about that. We can talk about supplement protocols, how you implement them exactly, so dosing, etc. for your body size. Alright, so that's us, that's a wrap, folks. I'll let you get to me, I'll let you get to me, get to me, I'll let you get to me, I'll let you get to me, get to me, I'll let you get to me, I'll let you get to me, get to me, I'll let you get to me.